the Lakers ended up pulling off a huge upset against the Memphis Grizzlies about a few days ago. By pulling off that upset, they're now going to play the Golden State Warriors, who also pulled up an upset the other day against the Sacramento Kings. I want to start off with the Lakers. I was I would say shocked that they were able to beat the Grizzlies. I guess because I had expected so much more out of Ja Morant. I actually thought he was a superstar. I really did believe that. But I don't think he is that right now. From what I saw in that series, I know he was hurt with a hand, but there was just other things that stood out to me about him. Just he only showed flashes of greatness during the series. I felt game 3 was when he showed it when he got that 45 points, but outside of that, I didn't see greatness throughout the series. And even with a hand hurt, I didn't see him stepping up on the defensive end. That's something he could have done despite not having a good shooting hand. I just didn't see it. This kid is very immature and he didn't step up. He did I thought the Grizzlies would originally win because he would establish himself as the best player, but he didn't do that. So I just want to throw it out there. Ja is definitely not a superstar in my eyes. Could he possibly be one down the road? Yeah, he has the physical talent, but we'll see if he has the mental talent to pull it off. I just want to throw it in there. With that being said, the Lakers were too much for the Grizzlies with their size and rebounding. They were able to subdue them. They did a great job defensively and showed in that series they are a defensive juggernaut. Just it was incredible to watch how they locked up all their key players and they made the game very difficult for the Grizzlies for the most part. However, there were still signs of them being inexperienced and LeBron showing his age at times in the series. I remember in the 2 blowout losses, LeBron really did look old. He just looked tired and just so I think that was kind of a disturbing thing if you're a Lakers fan. Also, another thing disturbing about LeBron, I feel his 3-point percentage has been terrible. I think just not just during that playoffs, but during the whole entire year. I'm just pulling up his 3-point percentages this year. He's shooting 32%. That is almost the lowest he's ever shot in his career. He's had a few years way back when he was super young when he shot 31% from the field overall. And his rookie year, 29, but still it does say something. His 3-point shooting is pretty low this year, similar to his rookie shooting percentages. So he's shooting terrible from 3-point range during the regular season, but during the playoffs, he's shooting even worse, 19% overall from the field. And he's shooting a little bit worse during the regular season. I mean, during the playoffs than he did during the regular season, shooting 48% overall from the field. But he's still been very productive. He averaged 22 and 11 the last series. So he still showed that he's still legit. He's still a star player you got to take seriously. He's not prime LeBron, but he's still more effective than the majority of players in this league. I'll give him that. Anthony Davis also stepped up in that series. He averaged 20 points, 13 rebounds, so 49% shooting, and an impressive 4.3 blocks, which was straight up amazing. So they had a lot of guys step up. I would say outside of LeBron, they had Austin Reeves, who had a really good series. They had Hachimura, who's playing on God mode for at least half of the series, and D'Angelo Russell, who just heated up towards the end and made clutch shots. And they had other guys who are unsung. I feel like Jared Vanderbilt, when you look at his numbers, they don't stick out, but if you see him play, you could tell what a great defensive player he was in that series, in guarding Ja with his length. I think he's like 6'9", 6'8", just he's very tall, very long, and he can guard just the perimeter really well. So he was crucial in that series. I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anybody else. I could have sworn Schroeder had a good game or two in that series. Granted, his numbers are garbage when I look at them, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. And when I think about the Warriors, they were not so good overall as a team during the Kings series. I felt they prevailed mainly because of Steph Curry's heroics throughout that series. He averaged 33 points on 48% overall shooting from the field, 37 from 3. So his numbers obviously were very good. Klay Thompson, on the other hand, he still looks to me washed. I know people will be deceived by his 20 points per game, but he's only averaging overall 42 from the field, which is garbage. And his 3-point shooting is just decent at best at 35. So I do think Klay is showing his age, much like last year. But I guess the hope is that the Warriors are good enough that they can get by with him just never being as good as he once was. To me, I feel the Warriors' second best player really isn't mentioned, but it's Andrew Wiggins. I think he was very crucial to them winning this series. He averaged 18 points on 46% shooting and 5.9 rebounds, but I think his defense is very underrated. He's super athletic. He just gives them another dimension on the perimeter. He's also able to get these easy buckets out of nowhere, just like garbage putbacks and lobs and all this other stuff. He's a really thorn for a lot of teams. Just the way the Warriors system is set up, it allows him to operate really well. The other guy I think that was very underrated for the Warriors was Kevon Looney. You look at his averages for that series, 6.9 points, 15 rebounds, which is ridiculous because during the regular season he only averaged 9, so he just upped his rebounding game. That to me was huge, just his rebounding. Steph's nuclear games where he went off were huge, and I would say Wiggins just being consistently good throughout the series were important. Those three guys really were the key to the Warriors winning the last series. Now, his upcoming series, I don't think the Lakers can slow down Steph Curry. I don't expect that. I think Steph Curry might even put up better numbers against him than he did against the Kings. Pretty much, I definitely feel he could do that. I don't think there's anyone as good as De'Aaron Fox on the Lakers that can guard him, and so I would expect his numbers to jump. It wouldn't surprise me, or at least stay the same like what he put up in this series. Klay Thompson, I think it'll be pretty much the same. He'll get you 20, but it won't be on good, efficient shooting. So with that being said, this is very tough, and I've thought deeply about this. I've thought hard about this. I don't like either team, so I can actually be objective about this matchup and not have any bias. But I'm going to go with the Lakers to win this series. I think the reason why the Lakers are going to win this series is because they can take out 3 of the Warriors' starting 5. I know the Warriors are definitely going to start Draymond. They're going to start Kevon, and they're going to start Andrew Wiggins. I feel those 3 guys, the Lakers can lock down defensively. You put LeBron on Draymond, he's going to definitely stop him from doing anything. You put Anthony Davis on Kevon Looney, he's not going to allow Kevon Looney to rebound like Dennis Rodman. Anthony Davis is a great rebounder, so I don't see Kevon Looney having these breakout games where he's having 20 rebounds or something ridiculous like that. And you also have Vanderbilt, who I feel is super athletic, and he's going to be able to stay in front of Wiggins. And he's just going to make Wiggins, I would say, have a less efficient series than he did the previous round. He's just so athletic that he can really stick with Wiggins and limit all the easy buckets he can get. So I think that's going to just erase those 3 guys. And it's going to force Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to have to go nuclear every game to win. So I think it's going to be difficult. Will they have some games where they go nuclear? Absolutely, yes. But I don't think they can win every game doing that. I think it's just going to take a toll on this team. I think it's going to disrupt their offensive rhythm. I feel the Lakers are gonna win this matchup due to that. And you look at the benches, I would feel the Lakers bench is about pretty much the same as the Grizzlies, the Warriors. When I look at the Lakers bench, their best player in the previous series was Hachimura, 14 points. They had Schroeder averaging 4 and Malik Beasley averaging 4. That's pretty much similar to the Warriors bench. When I look at their bench, you had Jordan Poole. I believe he came on and off the bench. And you look at 12 points a game. They had Moses Moody averaging 6, and you had GP2, 5. Dante Vincenzo averaging 4.6. Their benches are very similar, I feel. So I don't think either team has a clear advantage on the bench, but I think the Lakers, when it comes to having a good big off the bench, has a huge advantage in Hachimura. And I just feel the Lakers are going to make sure the Warriors don't have ever an advantage on the rebounds. They're not going to have great rebounding games like they did against the Kings. I think that's going to hurt them in this series long term. Also, got to figure how the refs call these games. I always feel the refs have favored the Warriors due to them being the cash cow of the league for years now. And I think this time it'll be different because the Lakers are even a bigger cash cow than the Warriors. So I expect the Lakers to get more favorable treatment than the Warriors will in the series. I think it will affect the Warriors, especially their players like Draymond. I think it can rattle them when they start getting phantom calls called against them and they're not used to it. I think one thing to watch is how they call the game with Austin Reeves. This guy flails, he flops a lot, he dribbles into guys, just he initiates the contact, and the refs immediately give him the call. If he's getting those calls in the series, I do think the Warriors are in trouble. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to win. So I would be on the lookout for that. That could make a huge difference, and he could really swing the pendulum of the series. But with that being said, the Lakers can shut down 3 out of the Warriors' 5 starters, and they can control the boards, which I think is going to ultimately result in the Warriors losing this series. So I have the Lakers winning the series in. I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to say Lakers in 6. That's about it.